Have you ever been a kid? I know that might be a stupid question to ask, but I mean a kid like getting in trouble as a kid. And I don't mean like the stupid ways that kids are getting in trouble these days, like if they talk back to their teacher or ate an entire tub of Elmer's glue. I'm talking that delinquent type shit. True child carnage. The kind of stuff that would make your atheist mom find God and send you away to a camp of some kind. Parents are yelling at you in the living room, dog looking like he's about to shit himself, poor grandma's in the corner of the room going, "Ay Dios mío." These are the kind of situations I would consistently find myself in from 4th all the way to 8th grade. And let me preface this by saying I was not even that bad of a kid. If anything, I was really antisocial and super quiet, but I committed one of the cardinal sins of going to school, and that was joining show choir. So that just transformed me into a holy beacon of ridicule and torment that bullies were drawn to like a moth to a flame, or that cable was to irrelevancy. But I am a master tactician, and as one who has almost finished playing 2 whole Yu-Gi-Oh games and wasn't so confused I wanted to commit arson with the cards as my fire starters, I devised the best strategy to get a little less default danced on while doing my basic addition and subtraction. And that was hang out with people who were way weirder than me so it balanced out. And again, when I mean weird, I don't mean like Weird Al weird, I mean like these kids are fresh out. Like the actual definition of the phrase, these kids are a bunch of demons. No joke, I once saw a kid throw a 2-liter water bottle at the back of a girl's head as hard as he possibly could, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, which I'm almost positive is attempted murder because 2-liter water bottles are fucking massive, especially if you aren't even old enough for your brain to solidify yet. I felt like really bad, but like not bad enough to help and get my ass beat by all these reincarnated Yakuza members. I felt bad though, so as we walked away I whispered sorry in her direction, which looking back on it, I was a dumb kid to think she could even understand what I said, let alone what was going on around her with the internal swelling her brain was undergoing from her grade 3 concussion. But one day me and the boys are hanging out, you know, as you do, and I hear a kid to my right say, "We should rob the computer lab." Now, I'm not gonna say my school was rich by any means, but they did have an amazing computer lab. I know a lot of schools had like the old Dell computers or Windows 2000s in theirs, not us. We had the Macs, we had everything upgraded, ready to go. One kid walks through the room, he's feeling like Jeff Bezos. The other kid walks through the room, he's feeling like Elon Musk. The future is now. So we all know what's in the computer lab, so these kids get immediately excited. Everybody's in. I'm starting to sit and weigh my options real quick, looking through the contacts in my phone like, do I have any real friends yet? Still no? Alright, I guess we're doing this. I will give them this though, these are the most detailed, talented middle school heist coordinators I have ever seen. They're busting out the attack plans, roles, 3D map holograms of the building. We all got matching cars and designer suits. Like, I'm a little taken aback. Everybody gets their role, and I'm given the role of the lookout, which just means that I get to stand outside of the building and just look out for people. Apparently they gave me this role because out of all of them, I had the best reputation around the school, which even then still wasn't very good, so we were really lacking in that department. So while the other kids go out to lunch that day, me and the boys are going back into school to get more street cred. I'm pretty nervous, not gonna lie. We get to the computer lab and then I realized that, oh shoot, the computer lab is probably locked, which in my head is fine. I didn't want to do this anyway, so I kind of get a little bit of relief knowing that maybe we won't be able to even get in. But one of the kids pulls out with the I know how to pick locked strategy, which of course he does. Like, it actually mind boggles me what these kids were capable of at that age. Like, I'm honestly positive if they got thrown into a penitentiary somewhere, they could Shawshank their way out so easily. So after, kid you not, like 2 seconds, this kid pops this lock open and they all run inside, and I'm just left standing there with my jaw on the floor. After like 10 minutes of hanging outside looking out, my inner punk starts coming in. The anxiety starts coming up to the surface. I've been hanging out with these criminals so much I was starting to think like a criminal. Like, I'm outside thinking, why didn't I bring a mask in case multiple witnesses show up and I have to take them out? And if I miss one and the cops show up, I'm gonna be the one that the witness makes a drawing of, and then I get the whole crime pinned on me. So in addition to looking really suspicious, being the only one standing in the middle of the hallway in the school during lunch, I'm also like slightly lifting my shirt above my face so people can't get a good look of it, so I look 10 times more suspicious than I did before. After a while of staying there, the vice principal came by and started talking to me in the hallway, which was like the scariest moment of my entire life. You know when you're really high and you're super paranoid and anybody can tell when you're lying? That was me like the entire time, but somehow he couldn't tell that something was up. And I completely attribute that to being an antisocial piece of shit. After he ended up taking off, the boys came out of the room and we got away with 2 computers. Which, like, I mean, I wasn't disappointed that they didn't get more, but I kind of expected more from these guys. I was half expecting them to come out with an entire truck of the entire inventory they had up in there. Turns out one of the kids has a license that he took from an adult truck driver he met up and beat in a dark alley. But no, just 2 computers, which is fine. It made me realize that they're actual kids after all. Oh yeah, and they hid the computers by running up to the gate that perimeter the school and pushing it over into a bush so they can come and get it after school. Honestly, I would say the moral of this story is that kids are really crafty. They're so smart and they're getting smarter with every passing year. At this stage in my life, I've stopped treating children like children and just start treating them as what they are: criminals.